tell him all about your trouble. He will hear your faithful cry. He will answer by and by. When you feel a little prayer returning, then you know a little fire is burning. You will find a little talk with Jesus makes it right. I was a wandering child.
Good morning. Ooh. Yep. Okay, there we go. Hello. Audio issues. So this morning was from Isaiah. And Isaiah 49:5. And now the Lord says, who formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob back to him, so that Israel is gathered to him. For I shall be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, and my God shall be my strength. Indeed, he says, it is too small a thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved ones of Israel. I will also give you as a light to the Gentiles, like me, that you should be my salvation to the ends of the earth. And that was like, this is Old Testament, so that's back in Isaiah's time. So that's way many years before Christ came. And really, that was kind of unusual, really, for the Jewish people to be talking about reaching out beyond their ranks. But that's part of the plan. That's part of the deal. And it was always part of the deal that, as God has told us, that he would reach out past those chosen people, and he would spread his blessing, which had settled on these kind of irritable, slave labor, persecuted throughout the earth, really relatively small tribe of people, and he would elevate them above all other tribes. Tribes that were more learned and had more majestic temples, and there are many civilizations who have risen and fallen throughout the time that Israel has always been this tough, hard-scrabble, blessed nation for whatever point. I mean, look at them. They're still getting slings and arrows now, and they're by no means perfect. Throughout the Old Testament, their imperfections are revealed and are a note to us when we live in the blessing of God that we are going to complain over and over again. Yeah, if there's one thing the Old Testament teach you, Israelites, complainers. Super duper complainers. But aren't we all? I know I am. I know I find it a lot easier to count the slings and arrows against me sometimes than I do the blessings or the dark turn behind a situation than the light. But this is all part of the plan, anyway. That he would expand that for his complainers, for the complainers, for the sinners, for the bleak and downtrodden and the nasty, and he would simply gift you with divine grace, and not only that, but then imbue you. He desires to imbue me with not only the joy of that, from that grace, but then there's power and love in there too, that I might, through no really great effort on my own, other than the effort of following him and turning and repenting and turning from my sin and not and just grabbing a hold of this delicious tendril he threw into my face, to pull me out from drowning. But then that also imbues you with, literally supernatural grace and love beyond your natural affinities and beyond your instinctual reactions. It's actually happened this morning for me already, and it's happened so many times in my life where if you call on his strength, when I call on his strength, it's there. It's and he guides me to do things that I could never do on my own. And really in this new year, what I've been seeking is that he guide me to not only my higher purpose, I think I understand my higher purpose, which is to to glorify God, and my only New Year's resolution this year is to consecrate all things to Him, and do that with surety and faith and consistency. But yeah, the thing I've definitely been looking for is is for Him to give me my grand design purpose, if I have one on this earth. Because I've had all my own plans many a day. Y'all creative types know that, how many dang plans we come up with and this new cool thing we're going to do. And, oh man, how awesome would it be if we blank. But yeah, I've been asking for His divine will, and I've seen it moving in my life in all sorts of ways. And so that's my next hope, is it's kind of maybe a little bit of a grand direction. Like, I'm ready for like a long-term project. I've been doing this Daniel fast. If you're interested in what Daniel fast is, look it up. It's actually not as hard as I originally thought it might be when I was like, oh, really? Fasting? So I'm just kind of eliminating or a mild form of deprivation, just to kind of consecrate my thoughts to Him. So every time I think about these paltry things I'm denying myself, then I swim over to His side and ask Him what He wants in my life. And I've been doing that and focusing on some other verses, which I'll talk about the next couple of days. And one of them is this really long thing. I was like, man, wait, why this? Nehemiah. And just talking about building this wall, and all the people were building this wall, and it was really seemingly infatigable and boring. And but just 'cause it's one of those things that lists like all the people and blah blah blah, son of blah 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 worked on this part, and blah blah blah, son of blah blah blah. I was like, man. But to me, it's also been a reminder that basically that I wanna be, remembered in the annals of heaven, the annals of eternity. I also want to be remembered in the annals of humanity, and that's kind of where my struggle is, because I'm an actor, right? I want to be in the pages of Academy of Arts and Sciences, Best Supporting Actor, 2011. 2010. All right, let's make it sooner. And but really, my intention, I was designed for a divine purpose, and fallen far away from that. So I want to find out what what the annals of heaven may say about me. I want to see what walls I build for Israel, not the nation on earth, but the Israel, the metaphorical nation in heaven of God's people He's gathered to Him. I don't know what that is, really. I got lots of ideas of my own, lots of intentions of my own, but trying to clear your own mind enough to receive His word, man, it can be hard. It's such a jumble. But I know it's possible. I know it's possible through the strength He gives me. How convenient is that? That's where I'm at. Peace.